Hello, mystical illuminations. It's RAZY and I'm back with another video. And I actually want to talk about the void today. So, I kind of touched on it last time and I said I would come back and talk about it. And we're going to break it down. What is the void? What is the void? When you think about that word, what comes to your mind? For most people, when we think about what that means, non-pleasant things come to mind, right? Hurt and pain, feeling alone, isolated comes to mind. And in one way, the void does encompass our alone time, our loneliness. But the void, the way that I like to explain it is when you think of a canvas, a painting, you think of the subject on the painting and you think of the colors and what that painting is trying to say. But what really makes the painting, what really brings out the subject on the canvas, it's really that void space. It's the negative space. It's the space that holds nothing. Because that's really what a void is in space, right? It's these big black holes of nothingness, the biggest nothingness you will ever find. And in this very extroverted society, we want to fill up every space. We want something where there's nothing because it makes us feel empty when we see the emptiness. But when we look at a painting once again, we don't think about the emptiness, but the emptiness makes the thing, right? Because if every space on the canvas was filled with the subject, well, we wouldn't really know what we were looking at. It would be way too much going on. And this is what we want to remember. It's always taught to empty your cup after you fill it, because when you empty your cup, then you can receive again. But the void space, it's a place that is very undefined. And it should be that way. It should stay that way, right? We all contain this space within us that we try to fill with our mind. We make up stories and reasons for the negative time in our life that doesn't even have to be negative. It could just be quote unquote boring, right? There's so much negative space in your life where you're not going to be doing something monumental. It isn't going to be you accomplishing a great feat and graduating, having a child, getting married. Not all of your life is going to be comprised of those moments. Most of your life is comprised of the moments when you are contemplating, when you are figuring out what to do with your days, and when you get caught up in trying to make something out of that nothing, you get more depressed and anxious. You start to think that your life is worthless, when in reality, it's just like every other life, right? Now, the void can be represented really well by these 3 houses, which was mentioned to me in the comments in my last video, and thank you for that, because it's so perfect. The 4th house, the 8th house, and the 12th house, which are really the water signs in essence. And these houses are about sacred space, right? Which is the 4th house, our sacred space, a place that we can call home. And truthfully, where do we come from? Well, we come from the void. We come from the nothingness. And that is home. You know that you have a problem with the void when you cannot sit with yourself for a prolonged period of time, or stay home for a prolonged period of time without feeling like you're missing out, without feeling that FOMO feeling, then you probably have some work to do with the void space. Or you might have been, in one way, hoarding emotions, trauma, hoarding even good things because you don't want to let it go. And the nature of the void is that everything gets let go. Nothing can stay there, right? But sometimes we hoard things in this place, whether it is physical. Some people are very physical in that way, and you will find that, yes, you go into their house and you would have never guessed they're a hoarder. They have newspapers from 1954 stacked to the ceiling, and trash all over their kitchens, and they're living in this, right? And it seems crazy, but you would never know what somebody's private world, which is that fourth house, really looks like until you get invited and stepped into it. And then the eighth house, which is the house of secrets, of our own secrets, of what we really do when we close those doors, right? What we really look like and sound like when we're by ourselves, our real thoughts, the things that we don't want to share with others. And then 12th house, which is our dreams and our subconscious world, which, has a lot to do with asylums and prisons. And the reason why it gets the rap that it does with that is because even in society, we're always trying to hide something away, right? Hide the true nature of people away. Things that are misunderstood, which have a lot to do with the void and have a lot to do with these three particular houses. Being misunderstood, being an introvert, which in this world, it's not very highly reputable to be an introvert. It is a lot easier to be an extrovert and to go out there and to be confident and stake your claim and be loud and in other people's faces to get what you want. Now, the thing about the 4th and the 8th and the 12th house is, now in these modern times, there's not a lot of sacredness with privacy anymore. Thank you, crows. And because we don't have this understanding of keeping things to ourselves, everything gets shared and then everything gets judged. But the truth that the lessons of the 4th, 8th, and 12th house are trying to show you is that certain things are meant to be kept to yourself. Certain things are meant to be expressed alone. These are the houses where we express our true anger and sometimes violence. And it's probably best that we keep it within those quarters, right? The 4th house, our own sacred space, the 8th house, and the 12th house, which is with the connection to spirituality, finding an outlet to let go of these tougher to understand feelings. Because, when we're looking at these water signs that these houses represent, Cancer, the Mother, Scorpio, Revenge, Pisces, the unconditional love, or the escapist. When we're looking at those concepts and those water signs, it comes with its beauty, its nurturing, its intuition. It comes also with its own world. The water and the ocean contains worlds that we have yet to truly understand or even be able to explore, because we are of the earth, the land. But we also contain mostly water. So the water holds so much memories. It's alive. And knowing that there's so much going on that we have yet to truly understand, or we can truly only understand it through spirit, through connection, through wisdom, which is different than knowledge, because knowledge is knowing things, learning things that are a matter of fact, but wisdom is something that it's innate. We have to tap in and bring it out. It comes out of the void like we do. But in order to, once again, understand these concepts and get the most out of this emptiness, well, you have to learn how to be empty. You have to learn how to be by yourself, how to unpack your secrets, how to sit with them, how to feel the full array of feelings that it comes with. And it's not easy. Once again, when we look at these archetypes like the mother isn't always nurturing and happy and kind. She's also angry, sometimes controlling. You know, the mother is more than a mother. She's a full, multifaceted woman. But we want to zone in on specific things and take away the fullness, the wholeness of what it really is. And although we're talking about something which is nothing, the void, once again, that nothing is the space where you're able to receive, you're able to channel 12th house, channel spirit, channel the divine, tap into your true senses, tap into your true wants and needs and desires. So the void isn't a place to be feared. If you automatically feel that when you think about being alone, if you don't have a sacred space in the world outside of yourself, you can create it inside of yourself, inside of your own heart, your own mind. But yeah, this essentially is a quote-unquote place with no lights on, right? So you have to feel your way around. You can't rely on the things that you would see. You can't rely on logic with these houses either. Who do you really invite into the void with you? Who would you really invite into your home? Who would you really let hypnotize you, put you under so they can go and explore your subconscious mind? Probably not many. So there's a lot of trust with the void. Trust that the emptiness isn't a bad thing and that the emptiness will provide. That the emptiness of our life, the mundane, regular ass days where you're not doing anything and you don't have anything to do, that you're not trying to fill. You're not in a hectic hustle with yourself to frantically figure it out. When truly, the void teaches you that there is nothing to figure out. All you're here to do is to create your own space, to be one with your imagination and bring your imagination to life. And as things come into this space that hurt and we don't want to share it, and we don't want to understand it, we want to forget memories, people, whatever we want to forget, we have to remember that there is no place for them to disappear off into. That when we try to forget, we are then forgetting a big chunk of ourselves. So yeah, these houses have the most to do with shadow work, and shadow work has a lot to do with the void, because people just avoid the regular quiet times of their life, because then you have to like face yourself and be with yourself, right? So the shadow work that has to do with these houses, you do your shadow work on your own. even if you're getting guided, even if you're getting help, right? No one is experiencing what is happening in the crevices of your mind except for you. No one will have your perspective on the pain that you have faced in your life except for you. Other people may be able to relate, but no one has gone through the moments that you have gone through. And so you come into this world, of course, traumatically on your own. Even if you're a twin, right? You're still gonna come out one by one and have your own experience. And then you die and you enter back that void space of nothingness, which truly is everything, because most people are also trying to find a space where they don't have to feel, where they don't have to tap in to pretty much any human emotion or symptom. And you know, when you're alive, you can't really do that, right? You could avoid a lot of things, but eventually you hit a brick wall. Eventually things catch up to you. Once again, you fill that void space up with a bunch of attachments, and then when you're trying to truly let something go or run away from something, there's nowhere to run, right? So then you have to clean. And cleanliness does have a lot to do with these houses as well, because we're talking about not cleansing in the sixth house way, which is let me get my broom out and sweep my home, let me get the floor to water and, you know, clean my aura. This kind of purity has to do with first being able to understand the dirt, right? And understand that everything comes from the dirt. Because essentially the dirt isn't dirty. And that is the void. It's where we put our dead bodies, right? So we don't see it anymore. So it has somewhere to go. But it's also where we put our seeds so that they can grow with the dead bodies, and they feed off of each other. You know, the plans and the ideas that we have in life, like the literal food, our nourishment, but also our creativity and our dreams, they come from this space that is one with all that is dead. And that is really what the void is about, right? That's what this 4th house, 8th house, and 12th house is about. It's about the things that are not alive, but they're alive with life, magic. These are the houses that represent spirit so well. And your connection to spirit is private. So we can try to teach each other all day, but you have to be with yourself in order to find that connection. And then that connection becomes so strong that you are able to operate from this place and be comfortable no matter whether you are in the light or the dark. You are able to embrace both and make life out of it somehow. Nourish yourself with the darkness. Nourish yourself with the nothingness, because it truly is nourishing. It's a great place to be. And if you're an introvert, you know what I mean. And if you're not, you know, you'll get it sooner than later. So I hope this talk on the void helps you realize that it's okay to feel empty. It's okay to have boring days. Those are the best days. Those are the days that make those life milestones and goals mean something when you accomplish it. Because those are the days, those boring days, where you spring your best ideas. And those ideas, 12th house, imagination, that's essential to living on this planet. Everything comes from the nothingness first. Peace, y'all. If you guys have any recommendations on something you want to hear about, maybe some other houses you want another perspective on, or if you just need some guidance and you want to book a reading with me, of course you can find that on Clairsight Consulting. The link is below. Leave me a comment, let me know how you feel, add to this conversation, and we can keep the dialogue going. Till next time.